I'm going to just give this a few minutes for people to come in.
Can you shut that room where the cat food is?
Yes, I can.
The room, Toby's in here now. I don't want you to know that.
Okay, I'm in. All right. My husband had no idea we were live. Oh, I just want to say the San Pellegrino. Look at this. So this is tangerine and wild strawberry. Hi, Karen. Tangerine and wild strawberry. It's pretty good. I still like the Morello cherry better. Man, something is going on with my eye. Look at this. It feels like there's a little hair in my eye right there. Ah, it's really sore. What are you up to, Miss Karen? Yeah, probably from my cat Yoda. So I didn't announce this live. Thank you for coming over. I didn't announce this live. I actually have been meaning to talk about this in my last couple of videos and just have not talked about it. Toby! Toby's in the house. My husband's outside planting stuff and Toby's getting upset. Let me go get him. Hold on a second. The other dogs wanted him if he weren't out. Come on. Calypso's in here with you. You still have Carmi. Alright, are we happy now? Everybody happy? I'm so sorry, guys. My cat's outside. What's happening there? Come on, Yoda. What is going on in this house today? Holy cow. Make sure the cat's room. Okay. I'm so sorry about that. So sorry. I told my husband we were live. Yeah. I'm doing that again this week. And I know a lot of people would think that that's crazy that I would be doing it again because I actually gained a couple pounds. Well, I don't know if I gained a couple pounds or if my scales messed up, but I've actually been looking a lot of videos. Hi, how are you? Thank you. I've been watching a lot of videos of, is it Neela? Am I pronouncing that correctly? Is the E long, Neela? So I've been watching a lot of videos, and a lot of females, when they first start carnivore, actually see a weight gain. And sometimes they see quite a bit of a weight gain before their body accepts it. Here's where Naila. Okay, not Naila. Okay, so here's the frustrating part. I know I'm not going to be carnivore the rest of my life. I know that I'm not going to do that. I know that I love vegetables, and I don't think I could go the rest of my life without ever having another vegetable. So I don't think 100% carnivore is me, but it is going to be incredibly challenging if I'm gaining weight initially. I'm doing this as an elimination diet. This week will be a little bit better gauge because I am logging, I'm tracking everything. Now, today I'm going to be really low calorie because I got to be honest with you. I did that really long fast. I fasted for 18 hours today, so I didn't eat lunch until around 1:30, 2 o'clock. And by the time 1:30, 2 o'clock came, I was so hungry that I ate like 6 wings and I ate some roll up and I ate 2 pieces of bologna. So I ended up eating so much that now here I am and it's almost 6 o'clock and I'm not hungry at all. So I'm actually thinking about just making today an OMAD and just not eating again. Um, I don't know. If I do have something, it's going to be super small, super small. Not because I'm trying to restrict calories, not because I gained weight, but just because honestly, I'm really not hungry right now. So, let's see. So the super frustrating part is like, how much weight am I going to gain doing this elimination diet? And if I'm gaining weight, then how do I know? It's so frustrating. It's so frustrating. But I'm just trying to do this so that I know, number one, these are the 3 questions I'm asking myself. Am I eating as clean as I possibly can? Am I eating as low carb as I possibly can? And am I eating underneath, 1500 calories or under? And if the answer to all 3 of those is yes, then I have no idea why I'd be gaining weight. None. I have zero clue why I would be gaining weight unless it's my scale is just messed up. So I really can't be focused on that. So now that there's 4 people in the room, thank you for joining. And if you, before you forget, you can go ahead and minimize the screen and give it a big thumbs up. It definitely helps my channel grow. So, I am looking for where I left off. Hi, Denise. How are you? Thank you for joining us. I'm getting ready to read the newest chapter of my book, but I always back up and read a paragraph, the last paragraph from the previous chapter. But the exciting news, so exciting news. I have finally found an editor that is going to do the proofreading, the editing, the structuring, the chapters, all of that. So I finally found somebody who's going to do that. Unfortunately, it's going to cost me, but this person is a professional. This is what they do for a business. This person has over 1,100 positive reviews and has been responsible for doing the proofreading and editing for 3 Amazon top selling books. So while it's going to be expensive, I have to ask myself, when, as much work as I've put into this book, would I want to just take a chance on someone who might do an okay job this is going to be the first time that, I'm brave enough to actually publish something that I've written. And do I want to take a chance on someone? I don't want to pay someone. I don't want to just be like, oh, yeah, well, I know this girl and she'll do it for $200 and then she's really not much better than I am. You know what I'm saying? So this person comes with the credentials, comes with the experience. So I'm getting excited. This is becoming a reality very quick, I guess. I guess the amount of money it's going to cost to have all this done, because after I'm done having the book proofread, edited, and formatted, I have to pay another individual to format it for ebook and format it for print on demand. So that's going to be a few hundred more dollars. And then after that, I'm in the process of talking to somebody about helping me design a book cover. So, but because I have like several visions in my brain about what I want this book cover. No, and I can't get into it now because I'm on my phone. It's a girl's name. Um, I'll get it to you. I'll screenshot it. I found her through Fiverr. She has 1,100 reviews though. She's actually, considering what people are charging to edit per 10,000 words, she's actually fairly priced. But the problem is that everybody else I've looked at, they'll only have like, 100 reviews, and they'll have like 12 negative reviews. That's better than 10% of the people that used you did not like your product. There was a couple of them that were highly rated, but when you looked at the comments, like what people wrote about the work, it might be, I think it is. I think she's on Fiverr. And I didn't want it to be someone that I knew personally, because then there's the whole thing that if you're not happy with their quality of work, even though you're paying them and you're hiring them to do a job, if you're not happy, there can be friction in the relationship. So anyway, for those of you who do not know, I'm writing a book, and I have actually come up with the title of my book. My daughter and I talked long and hard about it, and I had about 5 different titles picked out for this book, and we finally decided. Yeah, I will let you know who she is. It is a female though. I just can't remember what her name is. My daughter and I have decided that the title of this book is The Chronicles of a Habitual Dieter. This will be the first. The Chronicles of a Habitual Dieter. That's what I'm titling the book. There was about 4 or 5. Thank you. Because that's what this book is about, right? Okay, so let me back up. Let me get started because we're already 12 minutes in. Moderators, you know my rules. You know what I expect. For those of you who've never been here for one of my live videos, it's okay to chat in between. Please don't put any links. Thank you. Hi there. How are you? Sassy girl for you. I don't care if you guys network between each other, but no sub for sub. That'll get people kicked off of YouTube, and it'll definitely get your comment deleted. Please keep things clean and appropriate. This is a family channel, so PG, that's it. All right, so let's get on. I'm going to be looking at the screen, so if you come in the room, when I'm done, I'm going to scroll through the chat. So say hi, tell me where you're from. Where's everybody from? Is this your first time listening to one of my readings? Do you write? Are you a writer? Tell me about yourself, and when I'm done, I'm going to come back to the thank you. Hi, Barb. Okay, so let's go to the last thing that I read you on the last one. The good news is that Lose It had a DNA feature, the DNA for weight loss, and I just knew with all of my heart that the DNA feature would be the most valuable tool I've ever used. The DNA test measured the most common weight loss markers associated with genetically predisposed obesity. I took the test hoping that it would say, Melanie, you're fat due to genetics. Nope, it did not prove that at all. However, I stuck to the suggestions and dropped about 6 pounds pretty quickly for this turtle, and I ran with it. There is actually a playlist on my YouTube channel, DNA Weight Loss. You can see my excitement and newfound hope. I was a ninja again. There was going to be one singular thing that would unlock my weight loss. I could tell you it was not, but it was the best $200 I ever spent. Through this test, I learned that I had a rare, less than 2% of the population has it rare. It's there that I discovered I have a rare combination of genetic markers that makes me prone to high blood glucose levels. Now we're cooking with grease. This test also provided me with a few I told you so's. It stated that eating fat would not impact my journey. Thank goodness, because I desperately wanted a steak. It said that caffeine would have very little impact on me, and the food choices, and gave me the food choices of a vegetarian slash Mediterranean style diet. I was eating tons of fruits and vegetables, salads, edamame, and eating broiled fish, blackened chicken, olive oil, quinoa, black beans, and lentils because legumes are healthy. At this time, I was checking my blood glucose 3 times a day under doctor's advice. My average monitoring fasted blood sugar was 127. Several times a day, I noticed extreme drops into the 50. This is reactive hypoglycemia and the beginning of type 2 diabetes. I started doing cooking videos on my YouTube channel. I was making chia pudding, overnight oats, and espousing the health benefits of edamame, but I spoke specifically about DNA weight loss. I bought several Mediterranean cookbooks and perfected dozens of healthy recipes. Every dish was measured and weighed. I tracked everything and was becoming obsessed. The strict adherence to became my new vice as I grew more and more frustrated with the lack of results. The plan and calorie deprivation gave birth to a daily struggle not to eat my own arm out of pure starvation. I will just work harder and I'll eat less and I will do away with GMO. And it was then that I began meal prepping. I just knew that if I did everything that was recommended, I would lose weight. I had convinced myself that I was doing the right thing. Recommending the diet almost Meanwhile, I had several friends trying to talk to me about keto and begging me to try it. I was pissed off that they were recommending this diet to me because it almost killed me 12 years ago. Because keto equals Atkins, right? It's the same diet. I thought I had conclusive proof. I mean, the doctors did tell me that keto caused my heart issues. My body continued to get bigger, and I will never forget the day I walked into Keto's department store to buy my usual size 16s, and they were too small. Okay, it's the effing clothing industry. They have it in for thick girls. You see, at this point, even though I frequently, and when I say frequently, I mean all the time, emotionally engaged in mental abuse, I mixed a cocktail of you're fat, you're ugly, and you're worthless and sipped on it all day long. I figured it must be the brand, and I reached for another pair of size 16s. I repeated this with 4 other brands and left Kato's mumbling about the fashion designer's unfairness to fat people. I was mad. Kato's was the only plus size friendly store around. I walked the plaza till I entered TJ Maxx, and let's just say I accused them of fat phobia as well. It was getting late, but I desperately needed pants for work, so I continued shopping. I found myself at Belle's department store and discovered that they do have a plus size section for women over 80. The clothing there were hideous. It looked like a tourist trap of flamingos and brightly colored Hawaiian shirts. I found the pants section and grabbed 3 pairs of 16 regulars in brands like Lee's and Levi's. I later dissolved into a complete puddle in the dressing room floor when I realized that I needed to go up 1 size. I collected myself and grabbed a size 18 in 3 different brands, and 18s now fit. I still continued to devise a conspiracy in my head about the clothing manufacturers and how they're making clothing smaller to force us to lose weight. I sat in the car in the parking lot staring at the tag at my new pants while binging on a McDonald's Big Mac value meal. Of course, it was supersized because they were also conspiring to starve me to death. I mean, who eats a small, right? Now let me just chase this down with a sweet tea and we will head home. I picked up my phone to log it all, but I knew at that point I had bombed it, so why bother? The pity party came with all the best foods in the world. I walked in the door with my fake smile and I tried to act excited about my purchases. Later, I talked Pat into going out to eat, where I wolfed down an entire plate of spaghetti and meatballs from our favorite Italian restaurant, while I indulged in a large slice of cheesecake. This place orders their cheesecake from the Cheesecake Factory. That was my favorite place to eat in the entire state of Florida, but it's a little bit expensive, and the closest one is about an hour and a half away. As the tantrum eased and I was coming out of the food coma, I started entering my food. My mindset would switch from "you deserve this food" to "go ahead and log it, you fat bitch." Can you believe in one single tantrum binge session, I could devour 5,000 to 7,000 calories? I never made myself throw up. Instead, I would make myself weigh in malicious style and belittle myself the entire time. For the next couple of days, I would work out feverishly and starve on 1,000 calories or less, just to repeat the cycle over and over. Hunger. Why did I feel hungry all the time, even right after a meal? I never felt full, and as the symptom worsened, I hid my eating more and more. I was eating everything the app suggested. I was walking 5 to 6 miles a day. I was drinking 80 ounces of water, but why wasn't I losing weight? I fluctuated in blood sugars of 189 to 40. The doctors in unison kept repeating, "Eat 6 small meals a day, eat lots of fruits and vegetables and whole grains." This is when my sugar got worse. Scrolling through the social media pages, I began reading the story about a woman on Weight Watchers. Yes, it's still tracking, but it's a different tracking. It's not the same. So maybe, just maybe, this one will work. $60 later, I was enrolled in Weight Watchers. I was super impressed at the 5 pounds that I dropped initially. However, I was living in a binging universe, and for the first month or two of any new diet, I was able to quiet that monster. So a month later, I was 7 pounds down. Geez, who would have thought that tracking the food in a single number value instead of a caloric measure would be the single solitary cause for my weight loss? I could actually breathe again because I knew this was going to work. I just knew it. And from the 6 months of Weight Watchers, I learned how to make tons of recipes, reducing the fat. I learned how to eat fruit when I was hungry. Frequently, I would exceed over 150 exercise points, but I never ever ate them. At this point in my dieting career, with each new plan, my friends and family would agree, "What the heck was that?" I thought something crawled on my foot. Ah! I don't know what that was. Ah! You guys better be on spider patrol. You better be on spider patrol. You better not be letting any spiders in here. Okay. All right. Collect myself. Woo! Okay. At this point in my dieting career, with each new plan, my friends and family gently agreed, but I could see the look of doubt. None of them were quite mean enough to actually say what I imagined they were thinking. And I cannot tell you how many times or how pissed off I became when someone would say, "You should just eat in moderation, and then you wouldn't have to diet." I could write an entire chapter on the things that people would say and insinuate to someone who is dieting. If portion control and being mindful of food was the magic ticket, how in the heck did obesity become a pandemic in the short span of 40 years? The backhanded compliments share equal time on the stage with utter stupidity when it comes to the opinions of others. When I say backhanded, I mean, "You'd be so pretty if you just lost 10 pounds," or "You're lucky your husband doesn't care about your weight." My favorite has always been, "Well, you have large breasts, so it balances everything out." I have to say, though, several times in my life I've stood in the mirror naked and said that same thing about the size of my breast. The point is that people don't think about the depth or the layering of their comments. I have even had moments of sheer disbelief and unsolicited comments. But I'd have to say the winner of any comment, weight related, had to have come from a 16-year-old who was wearing a size 3 juniors. So we were standing in the kitchen and I was feeling super emotional. I was frustrated and probably monopolizing the entire conversation with, why can't I lose weight? That's when she blurted out loud, I don't understand why you care so much. I mean, you're almost 50 years old. You can stop trying now. She continued explaining that I was married and no longer in the prime of my life. Why do I need to look good? I do not think that there's anything like the unfiltered truth of a 16-year-old to bring things into perspective, right? Meanwhile, back at the Weight Watchers ranch, I was becoming stricter and stricter as I obsessively read all of the victorious stories on the public forum. Not a day went by when someone would post their points and another 2 pounds lost. The frustration built, and I was becoming more and more bitter and unable to find any compassion or encouragement for others. I was so obsessed with my own struggle that I let it devour me. On the outside, I acted like a fighter. I quoted the best of weight loss quotes, and on the internet, I frequently became the cheerleader when inside I was losing all hope. I was pulling away from everyone into my own private pity party and became seriously depressed. In shameful honesty, I can say that a few times in this journey, I thought that I would be better off dead. This is when God took a hold of me and began showing me myself. I began hearing horrible things that I was saying to myself through the women in my support group. There were 12 women in this private Facebook group, and week after week, one of them would post an all-out tantrum. I would read their frustration, and I quickly understood that I needed to hear someone I love talk like this to themselves. I wouldn't allow it. I would correct them, and God used these beautiful women to heal my pain. I would read their personal pain and self-destruction, and through helping them see their beauty, I was forced to start recognizing my own. I became their defender, their counselor, their role model, and yet I was more broken than the entire group put together. 6 months after the start of Weight Watchers, it was time for something else. I just knew that I would find an answer. At this point, my weight was back up to 216 pounds. The hunger was constant and getting worse. The moments of reactive hypoglycemia was the driving force in many multiple binges. This was the first time I started reaching out to the medical professionals for help. A plant-based approach was suggested, and a friend of mine suggested a 30-day raw vegan challenge. I guess because I had never met an obese vegan, I thought to myself, why not? So the search for a vegan Facebook group began. The first few days I was in heaven. I mean, I loved fruit and vegetables. This was gonna be awesome. A typical day started with overnight oats, then for lunch a large salad that included kale, cabbage, peppers, tomatoes, cucumbers, chia seeds, edamame, and raspberry vinaigrette. Dinner was usually a potato with some kind of subsidized vegan cheese and a black bean burger. I was still watching calories, but let me tell you how hard it is to overeat vegan food. The first week was a week of bloat and massive diarrhea. The vegans explained to me that I was in detox and this was totally normal. The gas was so bad that I actually farted in a coworker's office and almost died of embarrassment. I even shit myself one morning on the way to work and had to call in sick. Sometime around 30 days into this, I talked myself into doing vegetarian. My body was screaming for meat protein. I was so lethargic and weak, not to mention growing tired of the every third day trip to the store for fresh produce. I felt like I was constantly washing, cutting, roasting, prepping, or making some type of vegetable. And that's what I have right now, where I'm actually getting very close to the end, guys. That is because I came to keto from vegetarian. So let me take a look and see who's here. Hi, Juanita, Brown Girl Life. Hello, hello. Sassy for you, Regina. Hello, Denise Borders. Hello. North Carolina, yes, I write, but too scared to try to publish. You know what? This is my bucket list. That's what I'm doing. The title's very appropriate. Thank you, Barb, and hello. Karen, hello. Okay, so I'm caught up. Has everybody done the thumbs up? How many, let's see, how many pages? 86. I have 86 pages. Oh, I have decided this is going to be the Chronicles of the Habitual Dieter. The Chronicles of a Habitual Dieter, sorry. That's kind of a mouthful. Thank you. Thank you. Hi, Charlotte. So anyway, I can't, let me see if I can look it up. A lot of people have said that. A lot of people have said that they totally relate to the story. Okay, it's going to be available once it's published, which may take me another year because just to have it edited, it'll be, thank you. The title announcement, the title is going to be the Chronicles of a Habitual Dieter. Hold on a second, I'm looking for it. Gosh, let me get back. So it's gonna be in both electronic. The company that I'm hiring is called Grammar Gal. Let me see what her name is, Karen. I think she told me her name when we first started talking. No, her name is Stacy. Yeah, actually, because I know I've got a lot of you. Let's see, let me go to the top. This is my dedication. This is my dedication. For those of you who haven't heard this, there are so many people who have encouraged me along the way that I would love to dedicate this book to the following. To my published friend Jennifer Baldwin, thank you for writing. Thank you for living your stories out loud. Thank you for posting your writing aspirations on social media, unknowingly placing a seed for me to tell my story. To my daughter Paige, who survived this story and the writing I left on her heart. How heavy it must have been for her carrying the damage of my soul. No matter how right I am with my body image now, I cannot undo the things I said out loud. I can't take back the idea of perfection that I left her holding. No amount of apologies can erase her self-image because of the seeds that I planted. Thank you to my husband who has sacrificed hours of our time as I painfully sort through years of emotional scars and garbage. Thank you for allowing me to find myself. Thank you for loving me so deeply. And thank you for helping me place the pieces of my heart back together again. To my sister Barbara, who at one time in my life was singularly the only person that ever believed in me when I was in such a dark place. Thank you for living in the Word and continually being my light. Thank you for instilling the idea that I could achieve greatness and overcome my past. Most of all, I praise and thank my Lord Jesus, my Savior, for saving my broken soul. I pray this book will find the right heart, hold the right hand, heal an open wound, and this will be my testimony, my truth. Ha! I'm such a big baby. It was hard for me to read. I'm sorry. Okay, let me get it together. Get it together, lady. So yeah. It'll be on paperback, Barb. It'll be paperback, but it'll be print on demand. And then it'll be an ebook. So you'll be able to download it on Kindle, or if I publish through Amazon, they have a print on demand company. And so you'll be able to do that. But anyway, so it's like, it's getting real. It's the whole time. Thank you. The whole time I've been writing this book, you know, it's felt real, but now it's really getting real. And maybe because it's hitting me in the pocketbook. So just the edit, the first edit on this book is going to be about $800. Yeah. And then to get it formatted for an ebook is going to be another $300 or $400. And then to have someone help me with the book art, with the design, is going to be another $200 or $300. So by the time I'm done, I'll have about $1,500 into this. So it's scary, because to put that much money into something and then think, what if it fails? What if it fails? You know? Thank you. Am I stuck again? Nope. So this is big. I mean, this is big. It's kind of like this could be a total flop. And I have to find a way to not feel rejected. You know what I'm saying? I have to make this, if the book flops, it doesn't mean that, you know, I'm being rejected. So I have started the process. I have sent this proofreader. She has agreed financially to do this book in thirds. So a third, instead of me having to come up with $800 at one time, she'll do it in thirds for me. So I've sent her what I have so far, the manuscript. No, I mean, but there, you know, every writer writes a book and they think there's a lot of value in their story, but I don't know. We'll see. Yeah. It's scary though, putting this, I mean, but my husband said something the other day that almost made me cry. And he said, because I was like, what if it fails? What if my book doesn't, what if it's not a success? What if it's stupid? What if it's, you know, and I was going through this whole Sheila thing, and he's like, you are leaving a piece of yourself for the world. When you are long gone, rejoicing in heaven, you are leaving your story behind, your legacy. And I thought, gosh, why am I so emotional? What is wrong with me tonight? Ah! But it was sweet. It was sweet that he, you know, he's like, you are leaving that for the world. And I just thought that was an amazing way to look at it, you know? So, whew. I'm not going to be staying on here long tonight, guys. I don't know what is going on with me emotionally. I'm usually not a big old crybaby like this. And tonight it's like, I'm feeling emotional. Yep. The sad part is, I don't even think my kids will read it, you know? That's the sad part. I know a few of you definitely will. You know, you've been supporting me the entire time through this whole book from beginning to end. So my goals right now, number one, my goal is complete the book before the end of the year, and get it to the proofreader, editor, and we'll proofread the first draft. And then I will have to go through and read the entire book again, make any changes, make any, do that, and then send it back to the proofreader. But the second time around, it's not going to cost as much because she's only going to be proofing the new stuff. Yeah. You know what, though? Some of you guys know I have an effects from this last storm. Not really. We had some wind. That was it. That was it. Oh, I know I have to. But you're talking about a girl with a ninth grade education. That's what I completed in high school. I completed ninth grade. To be able to write a book. I mean, just like write a book. Who would have thought? I've always thought that I wanted to write a book. Yeah, thank you. Yes, shut up, Sheila. I can at least, when I'm that 80-year-old lady in the nursing home, I can at least say, I wrote a book once. I was published back when I was young. Maybe my grandkids will pick it up and read it. So, anyway, if one person, like I said, if one person reads this book, and I pray, and actually before I send this book to the printers, before I actually put it online, I'm going to have a live prayer. For those of you that don't pray, you don't have to be here for that. I'm actually going to call out all of my Jesus warriors out there, and we are going to pray over this book, and we're going to pray that this book helps the right person, heals the right person, makes someone feel less alone, because that's the goal. That is the goal. I want that 300-pound person that's reading this book and that has given up to read this book and be like, oh my gosh, she understands. Oh my gosh, she's gone through the same thing. Oh my gosh, she almost gave up and then she tried this. I want to be the reason somebody says, I tried one more thing. I read this book and this girl and her story was relatable, so I tried keto. I want to be that girl. I want to be that book that person that changes that person's life. And then maybe they write their story. I think everybody has a story. Everybody has a book in them. So yeah, I've taken the next step, guys. And I've hired myself a proofreader and editor for my book. And it's happening. It's happening. Still a lot of work to do. Probably a year before I can go to publishing. We'll see. It's probably going to be a year before we go to publishing. But I don't know. I mean, if she proofreads this and gives it back without a lot of edits, I go through it. I don't have a lot of edits, maybe just tweak things around. It gets proofread, edited a second time. I could be looking at possibly having this published before July of next year. I mean, like seriously, in less than a year. I could actually go to Amazon and you could find my book. How exciting would that be? Not only that, but in this book, the last couple chapters, I'll tell you what. After 2020, I'm going to start attending the KetoCon. So I don't know how many of you go to KetoCon or anything. It's in Texas. Not this year. So not this coming March, but the following March. I fully plan on driving out there and staying for KetoCon. Like staying like an extended weekend. And so I will be driving through South Alabama. I'll be driving through Louisiana. I'll be driving through South Mississippi. I'll be taking the coast all the way to Texas. So hopefully I will have my book out by then, and hopefully, I can do a book signing. Maybe I can schedule a book signing there. So that would be exciting. But, it's very possible by this time next year I could be a published writer. Now let's hope I'm a successful published writer. Yes, I would, but I don't need to go to KetoCon. I'm going to come see you before then, Karen. Holy cow. You live way too close for us to wait that long to see each other. But, and then one time I think I'm going to have to head up to North Carolina. I really think I'm going to have to go. My husband and I have talked about going up to the emerald mines up there. And maybe we can plan a trip up there and I can plan on meeting some of you. Because I know there's quite a few of you from that area, from the North Carolina area. So hopefully, and then hopefully I'll be retired at 55 and I can just start going and meeting people. That would be nice. I mean, I don't want to drive all the way to California from Florida, but going to some of these keto events and stuff like that. Anyway, I'm going to get off here, guys. I want to thank you so much for your support. Please just remember, I'm not begging for money. It's not begging for money. Below in the description, I'm going to be adding, yes, Chattanooga, Tennessee is beautiful. I'm going to be, in the description of every recorded video, I put links to PayPal. I put links to my jewelry page on Facebook. I put links to my Poshmark. I put links to everything I'm doing, my F-Bomb account, Teespring. I need to create some more shirts. Teespring, anything that you can do to help support the channel also helps me raise the funds to self-publish. So there's that. That's the shameless plug at the end of the video. Don't forget the thumbs up and the subscribe button. Don't forget to hit the notification bell. I love you guys so much. Thank you, Karen, for being amazing and being here for every live video to moderate. I love you so much. Have a good night.